And he shows me him going to jail when I'm speaking to him.
Yeah.
I should have came out of jail being a better person. But he says to me that when he came out, there was this hold on him. And that hold was addiction. First of all, there's a couple souls that I'm hearing from on the other side. There's this young male that's here that's trying to come through and speak.
My brother.
He's here. And first of all, he says to me, please tell her not to be upset with me, he says to me. Because he tells me you're so angry right now. He says, and you're so pissed. She was literally saying, before she even came here tonight, she was saying, my brother comes through, I'm going to be so mad at him. I'm going to be so pissed at him. There's so much explaining that he needs to do. There's so much that he's going to say. And he says to me that you said in your head, he better not even say that he's sorry. He better not say this. He better not say that. He better not say the other thing because I'm mad. And your brother's going like this. Well, how the hell could I come through, Matt? He goes, how the hell could I come through? He's like, my sister's already pissed at me. She don't even want to hear what I got to say, he says to me. But that was his personality. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
And what's so funny about your brother is like, even though you're so pissed at him, and this is just how he was here in this world, he gave no shit whatsoever. Like, he's so like cool and laid back. He's like, it's fine. It's fine. First of all, when I'm connecting with him, he lived life on his own terms here in this world. Because when I'm speaking to him, he showed me visions of him smoking and drinking and doing all these things. He says to me, and Matt, don't you know? He says, I spent my life getting into trouble here in this world. He shows me. My God. He goes, right away, he showed me him getting arrested when I'm connecting with him. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
And he shows me him going to jail when I'm speaking to him.
Yeah.
And what was so crazy is he says to me, Matt, I should have came out of jail being a better person. And when I'm connecting with him, I feel like he choked to death.
He was murdered.
How do you connect with him about his airway being restricted? Did somebody cut off his airway? And I keep feeling like, ugh, and I keep feeling like I'm choking on something.
In his autopsy report, it did say that when his body came to, the medical examiner, that he had been bleeding from his mouth and his nose.
I don't even know where to start with this because I keep feeling like I keep feeling like he's showing me one thing and the next thing you know, there's more and more details that keep coming up. I'm gonna put this clean and simple. Can I tell you clean and simple?
Yeah.
We're gonna dumb this down to not overwhelm you and not overwhelm me because there's a lot that he's trying to tell me all at once. First of all, I will tell you that your brother's telling me that there were people he got involved with that were not good here in this world. And they were gang related when I'm connecting.
Yeah,
I'm seeing gangs.
God.
He says, Matt, he says, I went down the wrong path. He says, I got arrested. I went to jail. I served my time. That was the best thing that happened to me because it kept me safe, he tells me. But then when I'm connecting with him, he shows me that when he got out of jail, these people came looking for him.
But he wasn't in a gang. It was an initiation.
He wasn't in a gang, but there was a misunderstanding that he was.
Yes.
And the two people that murdered him were supposed to be his friends, and they murdered him so that they could be in a gang. Into a gang.
My son was not.
They wanted your son in the gang. They did. I'm telling you that right now.
Ooh.
So, because he's adamant about it. And I think they were all supposed to do this together. And I think that when your son found out what exactly was happening and what exactly was taking place, all I see is him trying to backpedal. And then when he tried to backpedal, that's when he got killed. Because what's so sad about this is that when I'm looking at your son, all of these things were circling around him, meaning that these friends, these bad influences, there's drugs that were around him. There were all of these things that I see that were around your son. Because of that, that world consumed him, even though he wasn't in it.
Yeah.
He wants to say that he's sorry because he says to me, Matt, he says there's a very big connection with your son going to jail, coming out and trying to have a new life. That's what he keeps telling me, that he was supposed to clear away all of these people, that he was supposed to do things himself, that he was supposed to start over new. That's what he keeps telling me. And instead, like I said, he trusted these people. I feel like when I'm connecting, like I said, he was told and saw things and experienced things that he should. But I got to tell you one thing. Your son says to me when I'm connecting with him, Matt, he says, I would not have done this. He says, I made some mistakes within my life. He says, but I wasn't a bad kid, he keeps telling me.
He wasn't. He was a good boy.
So please know that your son's coming through because he says to me, Matt, my mom needs justice. He says, and at the end of the day, he goes, I want the justice to be not about what happens in the courtroom or what happens in the jail cell. He says, I want the justice to be that I'm free on the other side and my soul is here. He says to me about the clothes that you kept. He wants to thank you for keeping his clothes. Because he says to me, there's times when you put his clothes on and you wear clothes around. And he says to me, you kept his hats as well. He loves hats here in the physical. And he says to me, tell him they're not wearing my hat right. He's wearing it backwards when I'm connected with him.
I'm trying.
He says, he says, you know that my mom represents me, Matt? She wears my hats. And he also saying to me something else, right? Was somebody getting you a blanket made in memory of him?
Oh my God.
The funeral home put together a blanket full of all of his pictures.
He says to me, Matt, that was a gift from me. Oh my God. So please know that when the funeral home gave that to you, that's your son's way of letting you know that that gift actually came from him. Because he says to me, Matt, my mom's got this. My mom's got this. Please know that your son can hear you. He says, and Mom, he says, you looked over me every day. You and my sister, he says, you two were like my angels here on earth. He says, and the one thing that he wants you to know is that now that he's on the other side, I'm your angel now. I'm looking after you.
We've been saying that because he's been making appearances in his own ways.
In his own way.
He was always like a jokester and a playful kind of kid, and since he's left, that's the type of stuff that he does. Like, he messes with my brother's radio. His random songs will just come on while my sister is trying to work, and it's like songs that were his favorite songs. And
this is his way of validating that he needs the two of you to know that he's at peace. He says, please tell my sister, don't be upset with me anymore. Tell her that I'm okay. Tell her that I'm with her and that I am keeping an eye on them every single day. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I really hope that this helped you.